Complex News, it's 360 with Speedy Morman. I'm him, and we have a special guest in the building. He is a Guinness World Record holder. He is an international icon, and his new album, Algorithm, is out soon. Snoop, how are you, man?
I'm good, loved one. Thank you for having me.
We are absolutely honored to be here, and I've interviewed so many people in my career, but I'm always excited to interview people who I don't have to explain who they are to my grandmother. How does it feel to be somebody who is literally one of the most famous people walking this earth?
It's crazy, man, because, you know, it's an out-of-body experience because I get to walk around with me all day. So, you know, to be able to see what other people are seeing is crazy because I don't get a chance to view, you know, what other people see as far as the love that I get. But I appreciate it and I love it, and I love the fact that, like you said, from grandmamas to babies, they all know the dog and they know what I'm about, they know what I stand for, and they know who I am.
At this point, you've been famous and successful for a large majority of your life. But I wonder, are there ever moments to you that, you know, maybe you forget for a second that you are Snoop Dogg and that, you know, to other people, you're this living, breathing icon?
Yeah, because, you know, I walk around this earth looking at everybody equal. I don't look at it as stars or regular people. I just think everybody's equal. So it's a love thing. It's more about to appreciate the love that you give and the love that you get. You know, I guess it's a reflection of who I am by all of the love that comes back to me.
Snoop Dogg is your name, but we've seen many iterations of it over the course of the years. It started as Snoop Doggy Dogg, and then we've got Snoop Dogg, and then Snoopadelic, and then we've seen Snoop Lion. None of the names have ever really stuck. They've always kind of morphed into like the next one, and then I think there was even, you kind of teased the idea of Smooth Dogg. Why the decision to maybe try to change the name, or is it just a way to reinvent yourself?
I think it's more about the timing of it all. It all makes sense. It's all necessary. Whenever I decide to come back, it's got to be an event. It's got to be worth your attention and worth my time as well. And sometimes, you know, changing the cover to the book ain't bad, as long as it's the same book.
You've toured around the globe for so many years, and I think I heard you say one time that you performed like 200 shows a year for 4 years straight,
Yes.
or something crazy like that.
Yes.
But of all the shows that you've had, I wonder, what is the craziest thing that you've ever seen at a Snoop Dogg show?
One of the craziest things I ever seen was I was performing on stage, and I looked to the side of the stage. It was Paul McCartney, Bill Gates, David Beckham, and there was a couple other people. It was like, it was blowing my mind that these big wigs was on the side of the stage watching me perform. That shit blew my mind.
Do you remember where it was at? Because that's quite the lineup.
It may have been Live Aid, one of those
Wow.
big concerts that they do like that.
Paul McCartney, David Beckham, and who else was it?
Bill Gates.
And Bill Gates.
At least $1 billion. A billion on the side of the stage.
Calm, a light $1 billion.
A light B.
Just
some B-boys hanging out.
You know, calm shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've performed, like I said, and toured the globe, and you've done so many other incredible things and accomplished so much. And now you've got a star on the Walk of Fame. The speech was incredible. You've been asked about it a bunch. But just to reiterate for those who may not know, you thanked a lot of people that were instrumental in your success. And then you thanked the most important person to the success of you, and that was yourself.
Last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for shit, everything I done. You know, and a lot of times, that's mental health, to be able to celebrate yourself and to be able to give yourself some credit. And I feel like that was a great statement for those going through mental health, because we always depend on confirmation, or we depend on someone to make us feel like we're worthy or we're validated, when in actuality, you should thank yourself for being validated, because you're the one that got to get up every day and do this and walk this walk, talk this talk, and do what you do to be you. So thank yourself, pat yourself on the back.
I loved it because, especially as a black person, like I feel like when my black brothers give me compliments, it's always like, nah, man, I'm just trying to be like you. Like that's always the deflection, is to put it back on the other person. But for you to have that moment to bask in your own glory, why is it important, you think, just to, you know, sometimes be like, nah, I want to thank the person who did all the work, and that is myself?
And you know what? I didn't even write that shit. It just came to me. Like, I didn't have no speech and none of that shit. I just was up there talking, and then that shit got good to me. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna thank me right now. And then this shit just flowed out like it was a written speech. But it was about all of the things that I've done. Like, I thank me for waking up in the morning, for never quitting, being a giver, and all of the great things that I do. And like, because I need to say that, not somebody else say it. I need to say it and say that I'm doing a good job. You're doing a great job, dog. Keep it up. And no matter what they say, you doing a great job, and your work is speaking for yourself.
When you say that it just came out, it really felt like that was it almost felt like a verse at one point because it sounded so poetic. I'm like, damn, Snoop really went up there, hit them lines that he practiced, but I guess
I'm a freestyler, so that's when I'm at my best, when I could just take advantage of that moment and come from the heart. And I felt like seeing all of those people in the crowd made me say that. You know what I'm saying? It made me say that because they were definitely instrumental. But I had to put in that work.
People helped you along the way, but you were the one who had to actually
I had to put in that work.
Put in the work. And
you could talk to me, you could coach me, you could teach me, but I gotta go physically attain all of that. I gotta go hold on to it, and I gotta go get it, and I gotta go do the things that come with actually executing.
To make that speech in that moment was so iconic, but there have been so many other more iconic things, or equally as iconic things that you've lent your voice to. And I want to talk about a couple of them. One of them is, I don't even know what we're calling it, but when I watch these like Animal Planet-esque videos with
Planet is Earth, it's called Planet is Earth.
Planet is Earth. And you're commentating like animal things. For those who haven't seen it, can you tell us what it is and how something like that even was conjured up?
It's like National Geographic, but in the hood. So you still got the same wildlife, still the same jungle, the same animals, but you have a voice of reason. My voice is navigating and narrating what's happening with the animals and the wildlife. It's just a hood version of National Geographic, but with flair, with style, originality, and with my voice.
But how does that even happen? Like, how did you figure out that that would be as brilliant of an idea as it was? Did somebody come to you like, yo, you should put your voice over these videos? Or did you come up, like
we were shooting the GGN, my TV show, GGN on YouTube. My they call it a podcast now, but it was my TV show, GGN. And what I would do was I would have certain videos pop up. I think the first one I had was an eagle flying on a fucking mountain and picking up a fucking ram. And picking him up and just dropping his ass 100 yards on the ground. And when he fell, the eagle went, cluffed him and picked him up. And it was some groovy shit I didn't know how eagles ate. And you know what I'm saying? So when I seen it, I was just narrating it. And we was like, let me put up some more footage. And we did another one. Then I did about 5 of them. And then Jimmy Kimmel called me. And he was like, man, I love that shit you doing with that Planet is Earth. I want you to come on my show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and do that same thing, but we want to produce it. So Jimmy brought me on his show, and then it got bigger because I was on ABC doing something that I created on my YouTube show.
Right. And now it's one of the funniest, most iconic things. And you said it's National Geographic, but with flair.
Exactly.
And originality.
Gotta be. Just like when I do boxing, when I do the boxing analysis, when I did the Olympics with Kevin Hart. It's the same thing. It's just, you can have it that way. It's just like, okay, on your television, if they have a button that say SAP, subtitles, and then add another button, Snoop Dogg effect. Which one would you rather watch this movie in?
I'm going for Snoop.
Off top.
You brought something up, and that's the next place that I was going, and it's your sports analysis, because your commentating work is so groundbreaking, and not only for actual sport purposes, but from an entertainment perspective. I saw your Olympics work with Kev, and it was brilliant, but the maybe funniest thing I've seen in the last few years is the Jake Paul Nate Robinson fight. And you were commentating it, and you began to commentate, but then you kind of broke out into song, and you sang what sounded like some sort of spiritual.
Yeah.
Because it looked like our brother Nate needed it.
Yeah, precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand.
Bro.
Let me stand.
What was that moment like to be a part of it? Because I was watching at the crib with the family, with my grandmother, but then we heard your singing and your request for somebody to call the ambulance to pick up the people. What was it like to be there in that moment?
Say, man, it was iconic. It was a moment. It was one of those moments that you had to be there to be there. And we all wanted Nate to win. You know that. The whole black community wanted Nate to win bad. But, you know, just being able to do what I do, it became a highlighted moment because it was a bad thing that I made good. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got knocked out, but we made it funny, we made it entertaining, and we made it a job for Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
To be able to do these types of events. And it just proves that everybody can't get in that boxing ring. You can play football, you can play basketball, but one thing you can't play with is boxing and this motherfucking pimping.
It's also, everything that you say just sounds like poetry. But you're right. You can't, when it comes to boxing, you got to be super careful. And Jake Paul is somebody who you've seen evolve.
Man, Jake, get down.
And you had
But Jake better sit down with that Mike Tyson shit. Sit your ass down. That's a different monster, man.
That's one that he don't want to.
That's a whole nother, because Mike is smarter than all them other niggas he fought. Mike gonna know how to bully him and get him in position to take his head off. And one of them punches is good night, Irene.
Yeah, but you said goodnight, Irene, about Nate too. So
That's Nate and Mike Tyson. Come on, man.
It's a different level of goodnight, Irene, though.
Man, that night, bitch. That's what we're gonna call that one.
You spoke to Dana White when Jake Paul was fighting Ben Askren, and he was like, "Yo, I'll put $2 million on Jake." What is it about Jake that you see? I mean, obviously we've all watched him progress, and now he's, you know, he actually is a solid fighter. But, you know, what is it that you see, and where do you think this could go, with the exception of Mike Tyson?
He really studying his craft. That's what people not paying attention to. He not just getting in there. He's in the gym months and months and months and months. Then he get in there. That's why he looked like he looked. Like, the boy's serious about what he doing. And when you see that, you see the passion and the work ethic, it's a business, man. It's a business move. Gotta bet with the business, man.
Yeah, gotta bet with the business. While we're on the topic of Mike Tyson, I heard this statement that he said, or somebody said that he smokes about 40K worth of weed a month. And when I was thinking about who may be able to rival that, there are a few people that come to mind, but you are certainly one of them. I'm wondering where you think you stand. Is it higher than that? Is it lower than that? Or is it about the same?
See, the difference between me, my shit is probably 6 times higher than that, right? But I ain't paying for mine. It's a big difference, you know. When
you grow it yourself.
Not even about growing, it's just, I'm the dog father, so the check-in is impeccable. You know, you gotta make sure. And then a lot of people just want me to taste their weed. Hey, dog.
Try this out.
Hey, man, tell me what you think. Sure, bring the truck, load it up. It's amazing.
When you say the check-in, would you say the check-in is impeccable? Explore that.
Meaning that the amount of respect that I get from every industry when it comes to coming to LA, it's called the check-in. Just calling to check in, I'm in town. Just let you know I'm here. Anything I can do for you? Anything you need? Okay, enjoy your stay. Check-in, it's impeccable.
The check-in is impeccable. I love that. If you had to try, obviously it would be an impossible statistic, but if you had to try to put a number to the amount of blunts that you've smoked in life.
Well, joints first.
Joints.
Joints will go with about 652,324.
652,000.
Yeah, and then blunts will probably go 420,000.
So we're talking about a million roll-ups in total. That's a incredible figure.
Balanced like a Libra scale.
It's a bucket list item for so many people to be able to say that they've smoked with Snoop Dogg. I'm wondering, to you, what has been your most iconic smoke session?
Probably, no doubt, Willie Nelson. Me and Willie Nelson one-on-one in Amsterdam.
I've heard this story.
Yeah, this is fact. Like, you gotta understand that Willie Nelson is like a fucking god when it comes to this shit. Like, this is like guru. And me and him just became friends and hanging out and blowing and smoking, and like, I had to catch myself sometimes and be like, damn, Willie Nelson know me.
Yeah.
It be like that, man. Like, people think that I'm just like a big ass star. I'm a big ass kid. So I'm still fascinated by the people that know me that I love so much.
It shocks you when people of a certain caliber know who you are?
Stevie Wonder been my friend for a long time, and every time I see him, he could just feel me. I walk over to him, whisper in his ear, he already knows it's me. Like, I love that feeling.
Lastly, here on the Weed Tip, there's an incredibly iconic viral moment on the internet that resurfaces maybe every few months, and it's you at some music festival. There's a security guy working the show standing right next to you, and you're doing your thing, rolling up, and then you pass him the blunt, and he thinks about it for a second, shrugs his shoulders, grabs it, and hits it. And it was such a beautiful moment of unity because, in a world that is so divided, it was able to bring you and this complete stranger together. Do you remember that moment? And do you see when it goes viral, or are you not aware?
Yeah, that was a Tycoon week for 50 Cent.
50 Cent, yeah, Tycoon.
And you know me, I try to make everybody feel comfortable. So the police officer was in our area, and we was smoking. And he wasn't gonna arrest us, so he might as well join us. You can't beat him, join him.
You can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, and I like the word viral, I had to learn what the fuck that meant. Cause motherfuckers always coming to me talking about, nigga, you went viral. I'm like, nigga, I ain't got the virus, what the fuck you talking about? Like, nah, nigga, you went viral. Nah, I don't got the virus, cuz. So I had to understand what that meant. I'm like, shit, viral. Okay, I get it.
Your Instagram is like a masterclass of virality. I mean, you post some of the most iconic videos, but you make a lot of things go viral as well. So I imagine that when this person explained it to you, they had to tell you just how many times it has been that you've gone viral.
Probably. It just, I done so much, like, it's crazy how, like, some people that I have interviewed or some people that I've shot with, I'll give you a better example. There's people that I've shot videos with when I was like 19 or 20, and then I seen them like when I was like 30 something, and they was directing like Spider-Man and Transformers and shit like that. Like evolution, growth. Like, and just to know that the respect that you give people, I want to say that, you gotta have respect. You gotta treat people with respect, because some of those guys that I was treating with respect ended up becoming bigger than the directors that was actually on set. And they called back and reached back for a favor and say, hey Snoop, I'm shooting this, can you come give me a cameo? Or, hey man, I got this ad with Corona and I told them about you and they was thinking, you wanna do it? You know what I'm saying? So relationships is key too in this industry.
Let's explore that for a second, because that's like a thing that you hear people say, like, the people that you pass on the way up is the people who you'll pass on the way.
Nephew, Speedy, that's a fact. Don't get that part fucked up, because you're gonna pass up some people down there, and then somehow, some way, they're gonna be up there. And it's all about how you treat them when you eye to eye with them, because you never know. They may be your boss, or you may be their boss one day.
That's real. I remember hearing lines of, who was it? Maybe it was Meek or somebody say, my teacher told me I was gonna be a piece of shit. I seen her the other day, she was driving a piece of shit.
Now,
I guess it always does come full circle in some regard.
but some of that shit is determination. When you tell me I can't or I'm not, or if you disrespect me when I'm on the lower end, I'm gonna work real hard to get up top just so I can show you.
Have you had a moment where, maybe somebody kind of doubted you and you really just wanted to make it so that you can stun on them? Not to say anything to them, but just to prove it to them and show them that you was able to prevail?
Hollywood was being very disrespectful to me at a certain point in my career. Like, they didn't want rappers to get opportunity. So I had to figure out a way to make Hollywood come calling for me.
And now we see you in, making cameos in some of the biggest movies and TV shows, and you can't watch a sporting event without, a commercial coming up with Snoop Dogg in it, whether it's G-Star,
It's the fine life, baby.
or Corona, or whatever it may be. And so I want to segue into that side of things, the business behind Snoop Dogg. First and foremost, a quick Google search says that your net worth is $150 million. That just seems inaccurate to me. Can you just let us know if that is true, false?
It might be accurate because I don't be liking all my business out there like that. So they may be giving you a piece of the paper, not all of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we can say that we'll say that it's accurate.
Yeah, I like being discreet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not supposed to know what I'm getting or what I got. You're just supposed to know that I'm a giver, that I give a lot. You know what I'm saying? So whatever I get, I make sure that I distribute. We'll say it like that.
Okay. But like I just mentioned, G-Star, Corona, the wine brand, Indigo Gin. I mean, the entirety of your catalog is becoming like a small behemoth, if you will. What has that been like, kind of evolving into, not only a person who does just brand ambassadorships, but somebody who's kind of like their own empire?
It's great because I get a chance to involve my family now, because I position myself so high to where I can make those executive decisions, and just trying to get better at being business, because I don't come from the corporate world. I come from the streets, so I got to learn how to mix both and learn how to do business on the corporate level to where they respect that elevated mind that came from down here, but never leaving my spirit, my ideas, or my creativity, because that comes from here, from the bottom. So it's about, having one foot in the turf and then the other foot in the business to be able to try to do them both at the same time.
I think that one thing that a lot of people love about Snoop Dogg is that, whether we see you in a commercial for this or that, or in a movie for this or that, or a TV show for this and that, the one thing that always remains true is you. We literally never see you change or compromise who you are, no matter what arena you're sitting in. Kind of speak to that. Why is that important, and how are you able to do that, just to kind of remain yourself?
Well, one of the main important reasons of remaining myself is to stay in control. It's a lot that comes with this industry as far as tricks and traps and different things that can pull you off your square. So I try to keep a small circle, try to stay focused, try to make sure that I involve my family, and just think more about, what can I do for others rather than what can I do for myself. And put that reflection out there and just try to do great things, whether it's me coming to Def Jam and getting an executive position to try to put some light on some new talent and take my light and spread it around, or if it's me coaching football, putting kids through my football league, just trying to bridge the gap, doing things with Martha Stewart to show the world that people are people. No matter where you come from, what your race, religion, or your background is, if you sit down in a room with somebody, you may find out that you got more in common with them than your own family.
That is definitely the truth. And let's talk about something that you mentioned, is this new role at Def Jam. You have on this buttersoft leather Letterman jacket, but you are now, I think the title is a creative consultant.
Yes.
At Def Jam. What does that mean, and why now? You've done so much. It's not like you need this position, so why even
I wanted this position. I asked for this. I wanted this job because the position that I'm filling is creative consultant executive, which gives me the ability to consult the artist, to be creative with the artist, to give up mentorship, wisdom, understanding, guidance, teach them things that I know, and take all of this great shit in me and spread it around. Because I want somebody else to be who I am or be who they are. So that way I can ride off into the sunset. Until then, I got to keep my hands on it until I put that position back in play for someone else to come and fill in the void.
Uncle, talk to me about the uncle, because it seems like an honor for so many people to be able to get the coveted nephew from Snoop Dogg. What's the origin of that? When did you start calling, like your younger homie's nephew and you being the uncle, if you will?
Shit, probably when I got like early 30s. My early 30s, the young rappers would come up to me. And in rap, 25, me and Roxanne and Shantae was just talking about, it had an expiration date on rap when we started. Like you had 3-4 years and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to have this long ass run is amazing. And at the same time, what has been put into that run? It's not been successful all the way. It's been some failures, it's been some bad business, it's been some deaths, it's been some heartaches, all of the above, but it creates the mind state of right now to where, what will I do now to cement my legacy, to go back and make sure that I can give information to artists so they don't have to go into a bad contract.
Mm-hmm.
Have friends with them to get them into a court incident that'll stop their career from happening. Like all of the things that I could provide is what I'm exercising and maximizing.
You said when you began rapping, there was an expiration date almost on artists, and you kind of gave an expiration date to somebody else because you said that when the first time you heard Drake, you were like, man, this guy's he'll be gone in like 3-4 years. And then you were like, wait a second, this guy don't miss at all.
That nigga ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? But that's what we do in hip hop. We limit.
Yeah.
We limit until somebody goes over the limit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he did. That's what hip hop is. To me, he probably took all that shit in when he was hearing all that about, yeah, I'm only gonna be here 3-4 years, and was like, all right, fuck that. Watch what I'm finna do. I'm finna fuck these niggas up. I'm finna do some Michael Jackson shit. And he did that. And it's all hail the king. You gotta give him his. Like, he didn't ask for it. He took that shit.
Yeah. He really did.
He took that shit.
And now he's got the game in a headlock that it don't look like anybody getting.
Motherfucker ain't did an interview for his new album yet.
Bro, I know, we wanted it.
This nigga ain't said nothing about it. He didn't throw a party and some more shit and just like, yeah.
And was like at #1 for like 4 weeks.
Like, whatever, man. Yeah, I got a party I'm doing tomorrow. Yeah,
Didn't promote the album at all.
Yeah, fuck all that. We talking about this party, man. Don't worry about that. You know, the pregnant bitches on the front of the album,
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. We talking about this over here. Clever.
Brilliant.
Clever. But that's hip hop. That's what we do. We always gotta have somebody to go to the next level. To me, he gives me comfort in saying that if I ever wanted to leave the game, it's in good hands.
Do you feel like it could be almost like a passing of the torch? Like you can, sleep easy knowing that, the game is headed in the right direction?
I think that's what my forefathers did for me. When they seen me take control of the game and have it and run with it, they was at ease. And when I ran with it, I ain't stopped running with it. I may not be what I was as far as like the greatest, but to sustain, the sustainability is key. When this game gives you an expiration date and you outlive that times 2.
That's a beautiful thing. I want to talk about, in the financial space, this NFT world, which a lot of people still don't know too much about, but you are in the NFT space, and you just apparently revealed yourself to be the owner of some very valuable NFT pieces of art. So for those who don't know, particularly those in our community, what should people know about NFTs, and why is it important that Snoop Dogg is a part of this culture?
Well, the NFT community was presented to me by, certain members on my team and my son. The youth, they run this world, and you got to stay in tune with them and keeping me abreast on what's hot, what I need to be a part of, how I can, sell certain things, market certain things, and present original pieces, whether it's music, art, photos, and put them in the blockchain. When it was brought to my attention, it was like, whatever. But like I say, I got strong people around me who press the issue on being ahead. We don't ever want to be behind. So if it's an opportunity for me to get ahead, I jump in, figure it out as I'm going. Really ain't mastered it yet, but my team is doing such a great job. It's got me looking like I'm the smartest motherfucker in the world
like
when it comes
Elon
to
Musk or something.
Yeah, but it's like, it's a team. It's never about me, it's about we. And I've assembled a strong team that keeps me on top of things, and I just come in with my expertise and the shit that I do that they can't do.
You know, you've spoken about the importance of owning land, ownership, home ownership, property. Why is that important for maybe the young person out there watching this? You know, why is that so important?
That's going to be important down the road, because you never know 10 years from now, you or one of your family members may need somewhere to stay, and if you bought a lot of property, a lot of homes, a lot of land, then you'll be able to provide, and then you may be able to continue doing business outside of your music career if you buy the right land with the right business component connected to it. So real estate is real estate. So get you some.
You recently spoke out against the Emmy Awards because, again, for what feels like millionth time, there's an incredible lack of representation. And then I think about you and your music career. You know, you've been nominated for 16 Grammys, I believe, and you've never won one. 18 Grammys, and you've not won a single one of them.
Nah. I don't know. Shit. But that ain't what I do it for, so I ain't never did it to win a Grammy. But at the same time, it's like, if you gonna nominate a nigga 18 times, can a nigga get one? I'm like, y'all just keep inviting me to the party to do what? Stand at the door?
Yeah.
Serve drinks? What's going on? But at the end of the day, you know, I was taught that appreciate the fact that they even mentioning you, that they even, you know, putting you in the category of whatever they putting you in. But if I ever do win one, that motherfucker gonna be an ashtray.
Why? Because of the reason of neglect for the last couple decades?
I need a good ashtray. And I think a Grammy would be a great ashtray.
What do you think that Grammy speech might sound like? Will you thank yourself?
You know what my speech would probably be? The fuck took y'all so long? I'm out.
Beautiful. I would love that. I think a lot of people would enjoy that.
Hey, but that nigga Snoop was a fool. He went up there, everybody was clapping and shit, and they said, wait a minute. Man, what the fuck took y'all so long? I'm out.
And that's it.
Yep.
And walk off.
Ladies and gentlemen, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. That's hard. I like that.
Don't have me do it, Speedy. I'll fuck around and do it.
Nah.
Be like, Speedy made me do it.
You definitely need to do that shit, because that would be so, again, viral.
See, there's that word again.
You feel me?
I don't have the virus.
You're virus-free, but it would be viral.
Okay, I'll go viral for you.
Now, we're talking about the Grammys. You have a new project coming out. It's called Algorithm.
Yes.
What can you tell me about it? I mean, you're dropping a new project with some features on there that may surprise some people. You've got guys like Blast from the West Coast, but then you also have this track that's been teased and so many people have been excited about for a long time with some guys from Griselda and Jadakiss.
Algorithm is a project I put together specifically on Def Jam Records to get some new artists, some established artists, and some friends of mine to make a damn good record to end this year off in the spirit of Def Jam. So being able to reach out to young artists, established artists, friends of mine. You got Usher, Mary J. Blige, Fabulous, Dave East, Benny the Butcher, Jadakiss. New artists, October London, Jane Hancock, Corey B., Malaya. You got production from Legion of Boom, Redman, Method Man. I mean, it's just a plethora of great music.
Sound like the Justice League.
It really is. It's like, imagine all of the favors that people owe me, right? And I never used them. And then I just say I'm finna make a record. Let me start going down the list.
Pick up that phone.
And man, it was an instant, everybody got busy.
The one that a lot of people are mostly excited about, probably because it's the only thing that we've heard bits of, is
Murder Music.
Yes. It's a record that we've seen LeBron bump his head to.
That motherfucker's an East Coast hip hop street record produced by Knots from Virginia, Benny the Butcher, Jadakiss, and Busta Rhymes, and myself. It's hip hop. I wanted a New York hip hop song to make New York heads pull their motherfucking sweats up, untie their Timberlands, just give me that hip hop shit.
Yeah.
That feeling.
When I listened to it, that's the feeling I got, and I don't even have on Tim's right
But
now.
nigga,
I
you want some.
I wanted to slide my joints up. You know what I
Thank
mean?
you, straight up. That's where I'm an aura guy. I go for the aura. I'm on Def Jam Records as an executive. Why wouldn't I put out some hot ass East Coast street gutter rap shit? That's what Def Jam is about.
Yeah.
The DNA.
How did the record come together?
Flew to New York to meet with the executives from Def Jam when I first got the position. Rented some studio time. Who Kid put me in touch with Benny the Butcher. He pulled up on me. I had never met him. He pulled up, we chopped it up. I had the music playing when he walked in because I just knew what I was doing. The music was playing when he walked in, he was just listening to this. He was like, hey, what's up with that, huh? I said, shit, that's you. And that motherfucker started like, he didn't even write it, he just was like saying it and looking in the speakers and standing up saying it. About 30 minutes later, he went in the booth and spit that shit. And I put my hook on there, Murder Music. And I wanted Jada to get on it, but he wasn't there that night, so. Went back home, my director cut up a little small piece of Benny the Butcher rapping, put it on Instagram. Nigga Busta Rhymes was like, General, what the fuck is that? Send me that fucking track. That shit is stupid. Sent it to him. Jada was doing his parts, and just magic. It just all came together. It's just like organized confusion.
That was preordained. You had the beat already playing when Benny walked in. That was
I had
brilliant.
that motherfucker banging. As soon as he walked in the door, they said, Benny Butcher just pulled up.
Act like you.
He walked in, I shook his hands, went to vote. Niggas walk in, they gonna naturally be like, but he probably thinking this my beat because we in the studio, right? So he don't wanna like just jump in and be like, so he like, oh, what's up with that? I'm like, shit, that's you. He like, huh? Went right to it.
That is mad smart, bro. Brilliant. Yo, Benny's outside. Play.
Thank you.
Set the tone and then.
That's the difference between being a veteran
Yeah.
and a rookie. See, a vet know how to make those moves.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the spirit of him, and I knew it. Because if it wasn't, first of all, he wasn't gonna rap. He was coming up there to talk to me. He was on some business shit. I was trying to get him to sign with Def Jam. That's happening soon. So I had him
That's
up there.
happening soon?
Yeah, I had him up there for that conversation, right? And during the conversation, I slid the music on to show him how I get down. And it was just what I thought it was. It was that kind of shit that he was like, think I need this, I need in on this. And he's a rapper. A young rapper, like I used to be a young rapper. Nigga can't put no beat on in the studio when I was a young rapper. It's a murder.
You ready?
I don't give a fuck if it's 20 niggas in the studio, it's a murder. Murder music.
Murder Music. Great
Yeah.
title, too.
Believe it.
But with Snoop, I appreciate you coming through. What is it that people can expect from you in the future, and what should people remember about Snoop Dogg and what he's contributed to this game?
In the future, January 2022, we got another album coming out, Mount Westmore. Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, and E40. Be on the lookout for that motherfucker right there. And just stay focused to the Def Jam move. We just trying to do what we do. I'm in the building. Def Jam is in the building, we back. We in the streets, we in the clubs. And we're gonna be in schools too. We coming with a kids album too. So we're gonna be everywhere you need us to be. And as far as Snoop Dogg, my spirit is right. God is good. I'm gonna keep giving you what y'all expect. And then I'm gonna give you some unexpected as well. We also got a movie we putting out to this Algorithm album that'll be out probably a couple of weeks after the album.
Okay.
Which is a visual experience of the whole record, where it's a great ride. It's a fantastic voyage.
Beautiful. Snoop, I appreciate you taking the time. All the best and congratulations on the Def Jam move and everything else that you got going on.
Don't go so fast. Speedy, slow it down a little bit.
I got you.
Take your time.